It's important because already I have told you that we want to understand the human brain for these two reasons. To understand that how brain works. So if you understand the neural dynamics, then only probably we can come up with some solution for all this disorder. In the same time, when we are talking about the artificial intelligence, robotics, computer vision, there also, we are at the age of this thing. Because if we not progress our knowledge, if we not advance our knowledge in this domain, probably we won't be able to find out the solution for all these problems. Here are highlighted few of the problems. So you can see here, now we are talking about that maybe in next 3 years or 5 years or 10 years, we will get the autonomous vehicle. Okay. So where we don't have the driver, the car will take you to your destination. Likewise, you must have also seen that, I have taken the few old pictures from the website. Let's say face recognition. I'm just giving only few examples so that you can correlate with the real-time application of this thing. So these are the camera, which will recognize the faces, mostly for the identification purpose, security and all these things. So likewise, So then that time when we had all this computer vision system, we can identify the people. Then also we found many lacunas in the system. So these are the paper cut. Let's say in 2001, face recognition useless for crowd circling. Face recognition critical in Florida airport. Likewise, also now you will see that there are many thousands of papers in this domain. Face recognition to come new algorithm of face recognition, but still we are far from the reality. Still we are not able to recognize the faces. We are not able to identify the faces. Because until now, we don't know that how, because we are the most intelligent entity in this universe, we don't know that how we recognize the faces. Let's say when we are talking about the recognition of the faces, again, there's three types. Let's say, okay, personally known face, celebrity or unknown. You just imagine that this brain is taking decision that I know this face, he is a celebrity or he is my friend. How come the brain is taking all the decision? We don't know. Until now, we don't understand this question. Likewise, I'll give another very interesting example. Let's say this is a robot, right? Let's say I'm holding this pointer. When I'm holding this pointer, I can visualize this pointer. So let's say I'm not looking at this pointer, but I can still visualize it. Okay. Let's say I'm talking to my parent over phone. I can hear their voice. In the same time, I can visualize their face in front of me, right? So this is called the cross-modal mapping. Cross-modal means I am mapping from one sensory modality to another sensory modality. Okay. Let's say when you're touching something, you can map the tactile information to your vision or maybe to other sensory modality. When you hear to vision or vision to hear, whatever, right? This is called the cross-modal sensory mapping. So until now in the robotics, we don't know, because actually you will see the most sophisticated robot in this world, SMO type of robot, right? So the most sophisticated robot is not much more intelligent than a 2 years old baby. Because we don't know that how, as a human being, we map one sensory information to the other domain. Because this is very, the one type of, I can say, this is one type of intelligence. If we are not able to map one sensory information to another, we might lose some, our ability, our super ability, right? So these are the most interesting and fascinating questions in the domain of science as well as engineering. So if we do not understand these questions, most probably we won't be come up with the most sophisticated autonomous system in this world. Okay. So here I'm talking about. So today's my focus would be on the brain science under the computational biology. So I'll talk about the brain. So here I'm talking about. Let's say, these are the basic the divisions of brain, the frontal lobe. Then this is the back part, the occipital lobe, this is the temporal lobe, this is the parietal lobe. Okay. Let's say somebody who has not seen anything, or the blind. Okay. Then how the brain reorganizes. Basically, actually, when I'm talking about the sensory mapping, definitely this is the job being done by this brain. Okay. So we need to understand the dynamics of the neuron. So very fascinating questions of the neuroscience is the scientists, they understand the function of a single neuron. But we don't understand that how this group of neurons, the pools of neurons, organize all this, all this beautiful orchestra in our life. Okay. So we understand the function of a single neuron, but we don't understand when they work together. So this is one of the most interesting questions in the domain of neuroscience. So here, I'll talk about, okay, let's say, okay, somebody who is not no vision, then what is happening to his brain? Okay, if somebody has, MQT, let's say I have lost my hand due to accident, or I'm born without any hand, then what will happen to that region of the brain which does all this activity? Because the brain has, generally the brain allocates the resources for various purposes. Okay, so if somebody is not able to hear, let's say somebody born deaf, then what is happening to the brain? And at the same time, you just imagine if somebody, is amputee or has no lower limb, and you replace that, lower limb with the prosthetics, right? Then how the brain is going to rewire, how it's taking care of all these functions. Likewise, if you will use this hearing aid, let's say you provided the hearing aid to the deaf person, then how the brain is going to, rewire. Okay, so the same thing for the vision. So as I gave the two examples in the domain of, so earlier about the face recognition. So the question which I asked you, that how we know that how brain learns to see, or basically how brain recognizes or differentiate a known face from the unknown face, or the distinguish the personally known from the celebrity faces, right? So these are very, very big questions in the domain of neuroscience and in the domain of artificial intelligence. So we don't have the answer. So the question comes that, okay, if we don't have the answer, then how we can answer these questions? Okay, then what we'll do? Let's say if my intention is to understand that how human brain recognizes the faces or identify the face from the object. So how will answer this question? How we can answer this question? Definitely we have to answer these questions working on your brain, right? But if I do some study on your brain, I might not get the tentative answer because your brain has already learned, right? Then what I'll do? I have to do this study on a newly born kid. इसने पैदा हुआ, पैदा इसके बाद he will do some study, might be, we might get some useful information, right? But then the question is it possible to do some experimentation on this newly born kid? No, right? Why no? Okay, we'll discuss it. So whatever I discussed until now, if I put together, so basically what we do in the brain science, we measure the brain functions with respect to some cognition or some behavior. In the same time, we manipulate the brain region and see how it's influencing your behavior, right? So okay, before coming to the talk, so I'll tell you one very small story of my life. Actually, I very much interested in designing the assistive technology for the disabled people. So this year, 10 years back, I developed few systems for the spinal cord injury patient. So those who are spinal cord injury, quadriplegic or paraplegic category, so I just access their residual ability, what is the residual ability present in their body, so that I can take the residual ability to control some, to generate some signal by which they can live independently. So that time I just came up with 3 gadgets. One gadget was the blow switch, basically those who are completely, let's say, quadriplegic, they cannot move, okay, and so let's say they want to switch on the fan, nobody is in the home, then how they can do this job? Okay, so I came up with one gadget by which this was my MTech work. So by this blow they can switch on the light, by blow they can switch on the fan. Okay, so I came up with 2 type of gadgets. One is the number of blow, and another was the level of blow. Okay, धीरे से blow फूंकना, फिर थोड़ा सा जोर, right? And at the same time I came up with another gadget which is called the touch pad. So at the time I was visiting the hospital, spinal injury center, Basanpur, and I met one school, 9th standard student from Bihar. So he met an accident, but he loves playing computer games. So he told me that, okay, I want to play, but now I cannot play because I cannot control my hand movement. So for him, I designed one GUI based interface hardware where we have only 5 keys. So this was the web prototype at the time. So it is only 5 keys. By 5 keys, he can control everything. He can type, he can Google, everything he can do by this 5 touchpad. Likewise, I came up with another gadget. Again, this is a UAG based device. So basically, just taking the eye signal. Let's say you are not able to speak, or you are not able to do anything, but by eye movement you can display the message what you need, or if you are in the wheelchair, you can control the movement of the wheelchair by eye blink or eye movement. So from this basic eye movement, left, right, up and down, you can generate more than 100 control signals by which you can control your environment. Okay.
So how accurate is this? Like, for example, giving something, and it is designed like that.
Right.
Means if I give something, it will automatically open. But it may be a natural thing, like natural blink or something. But you have coded it like that. So when I do natural blink.
That's true, and yes, I mean you have to code in such a way so that you can avoid all these normal blinks. So normal blink, it will take the eye signal, it will capture the eye signal, the normal blink and the forced blink, is there a difference? So if when I give normal blink, I'll get small spikes, okay. If I'll get forcefully, let's say I want to create a command, okay. So I have to give a one forcefully blink, okay. So in that way, and just by combination timing parameter, we created many different command signals, and these are all individual specific. I mean basically for you, I mean okay, let's say this gadget is for you, for somebody else I have to design another gadget. I mean this was not a very intelligent one, very simple one. Okay, so I'm coming to the story. Then when I was trying all this gadget in the hospital, and I found that the patients are very happy that they are thinking that somebody is doing something for us, but in the back end I was thinking, I mean I'm not happy. Though I can see the happiness in their face, but I'm not happy because that time I was thinking that these gadgets are all training based gadgets. You need to train the patient how to use this. So I thought that is it possible to make these gadgets more intelligent? I mean, instead of teaching the patient to learn how to use this gadget, instead, if the gadget can know that what is the need of this patient, then maybe we can solve the problems, right? And at the time, I just try to find it out that how I can answer these questions, and then I fall in love with neuroscience. Okay, then I jumped from electronics to comparative neuroscience. So that time I started exploring that how I can understand that how brain encode information, right? And these gadgets are helpful for certain kind of disabled people. Okay, but let's say you just imagine those who are stroke patients, who have some brain. I mean, okay, which part brain is not working. So 40% this might not work. So that's why I thought that okay, I need to learn that how the brain encodes the information, to know more about the plasticity, because plasticity plays a very, very fundamental role in the domain of this rehabilitation or this assistive technology. Okay. So so coming to this picture, before coming to this picture, then I joined for my PhD at the time. And then because I'm more fascinated to understand more about the brain science and to understand that how the brain encodes the information, so we decided to work on that how brain learns to see. Basically, let's say if I'll ask you, what is this? You will say this is a laptop. If I'll ask you, how you know this is a laptop? Then the obvious answer will be that yes, हमें पता है हम तो बचपन से आप देख रहे हैं laptop है, but I'll not get the right kind of answer, right? At the same time, we ask ourselves that okay, let's say somebody born blind. Okay, before coming to this point, so I'm telling you that it's not possible to experiment a newly born kid because ethically it's wrong. Second thing, if you do experiment, you might not get a reliable results from the kid because they cannot speak. Okay, you might get some random answer from there. Okay, so it's not possible. That's why we thought that let's say somebody is born blind, and by miracle you restore sight to the blind. And then it will do the study because okay, let's say 20 years old blind, he has not seen anything since his birth, and at the age of 20 years he already grown up. He can understand your command. Okay, so it is very good for research or experiment. Then we thought that is it possible to restore sight to this blind, and at the same time this blind will help us to understand all these questions of in the domain of science. Okay, so then we started exploring that okay, is it possible or not. Then just going through all these things, then we thought that okay, what is the incidence of blindness in India? That time we came across many interesting articles. Also, you will see all these articles online that India is, I mean, the economic booming and all this story, right? यही हो रहा है last 10 years. But in the background, you will see that 1 in every 100 Indians are blind. So India is the house for more than 50% blind population in the whole world. So this blindness is due to many reasons. So these are the most dominant reasons behind this blindness: corneal scarring, cataract, retinal dystrophies, infections, congenital rubella syndrome. So this congenital rubella syndrome is due to the, you know that mostly our people, most of the Indians, 80% Indians are living in the villages where there is a acute shortage of proper health care. They don't get even vaccinated before the birth, childbirth. So that's why they infected with this congenital and this rubella syndrome. So likewise, all this infection also causes this cataract. So these two causes, corneal opacity and cataract, that constitute the major portion of this blindness in India. Okay, so but more than 40% of this blindness are treatable. Okay, but due to the lack of knowledge or due to the lack of the facility, we are not able to treat this type of blindness. And due to this untreated blindness, we have these following consequences. The lifespan of blind children or blind people is, 15 years less than the normal. The childhood mortality is very high. 50% of all these blind children in India, they don't get a chance to see their second birthday. In India, when somebody is blind, definitely the education perspective is also very less. And fourth is, definitely when they will not go to school or college, the employment is also very, very less. That's why every year we are losing more than $10 billion US. This is the economic loss in India because they are unproductive, and for this we are losing this much of economy. So the pressing humanitarian need is to provide treatment to these curably blind children. So the question is, this is the biggest question in the domain of science. So the question is, all vision developed after surgery, if we operate this blind kid, is it possible to restore the sight to this population? So if yes, then the question is the brain change late in life? So this is about the brain plasticity. So if the brain is plastic enough to change that later part in the life, let's say when somebody is not seen 20 years, past 20 years, is it possible to again rewire the brain? And the second thing, if yes, what is the principle of information encoding in the brain? So the experimental goal is, let's say, if to determine if the brain of a newly sighted child changes soon after sight onset. So a positive result will accomplish two big objectives. First, if we get, let's say the child is able to see, then we will be able to answer these two questions, very fundamental questions. It will help us to it will force us to rethink about the critical period hypothesis. I'll talk about this critical period in my next slide. And then the first time it will help us to show us the efficient encoding principle of the human brain. Okay, so coming to this critical period, if you just type Google critical period, you will find many papers, and these are all big papers, nature or science type of paper, neurophysiology, very big journals, right? And these two gentlemen, David and Dawson Russell, they got the Nobel Prize in 1981. They gave one hypothesis, which the critical period hypothesis. What this is, that the past few months or past few years in everybody's life is very, very important for the development of all sensory modalities. Let's say I am born completely alright. Okay, and after my birth, let's say you put me in a dark room for next 2 months or 3 months. उसी dark room के अंदर मुझे खाना पीना सब कुछ मिला. And then what you did, after 2 months or 3 months, you brought me to a lighted part of this world. By the time I won't be able to see the light of this world. Actually, this is in gist the critical period. So mostly all our sensory modalities, for the hearing, for the touch, for the vision, everything develops or crystallizes during the first few months or first few years in everybody's life. So these two gentlemen, not only these two gentlemen, many other people also conducted studies on the animal. They have done this study on the kitten. They found even in less than 20 days, is also very important. In 20 days they found the kittens are not able to see. Okay, so from these studies, they extrapolated this research to the human beings. Based on this research, when the blind children used to come to the hospital at the age of 10 years, the doctor used to say it's not possible. They cannot see again. So here, again, here I'll talk about the work what we have done under the Project Prakash. So Project Prakash is one of the best projects in the world right now, which has two objectives. One is the humanitarian, second is the scientific. So why it's very interesting? Because as a scientist, always we do research, and sometimes we don't know how our research is going to help the society. So this is a very good example. You can see here, just doing your job for the society, you can answer many interesting questions of the science and engineering. Okay, so we have a center in Delhi. So what we do, we have a very big team. So they used to go to different villages in UP, Haryana, Rajasthan, all these neighboring states, and we organize the camp. And they rescue all these children. And those who are treatable, to whom we can restore sight, we bring them to the hospital in Delhi. We operate them, and in that way, we restore sight to them. At the same time, we answer many interesting questions of science that I mentioned to you. This is, the surgery, in the hospital, or the operating the kid. And then, before surgery and after surgery, we track their brain development, how they learn to see. So here, that's why I've written, the goal is to understand how vision develops after sight loss. But the question is, whether vision develops after sight loss. Let's say it will allow them to see. Is it possible for them to see this visual world or not? Right? So here I'll answer these two questions. So in the brain level, the question is the brain plastic enough to make use of information from the eyes later in life? So basically what do we see? This is not the job of only the eye, rather this is the job of both the eye and the brain. Even if the eye is sending the information, but the brain is not able to encode the information, that means we won't be able to see. Right? So the other way is also possible. If the eye is not sending any information, also you won't be able to see. So it's the job of these two organs, the eye and brain. Right? So what we do before the surgery and after surgery, we do fMRI, EEG, and all this stuff. I don't know how many of you are. You know that the brain image analysis techniques. Have you heard fMRI and all this stuff? Okay, just in the layman language, let's say we acquire thousands of images from the brain. Okay, so here I'll talk about a little bit about the functional connectivity. So this functional connectivity is a technique by which you can tell the functions of the brain that when the brain is not even doing anything. So this functional connectivity, this idea was given by one Indian. So in 1995, he came up with this idea, and at the time, the Western world, thought that it's a completely useless idea. And now, in the domain of brain science, you will see you will see many publications in the domain of connectivity. And now people are using this technique to understand the dynamics of the brain, and also in the clinical science also people are trying to apply these techniques to understand different disorder and how it's, if they are giving any medication, what's the effect and other things, right? So, in a very simple language, I'm showing you this picture to tell you, in a very layman language, let's say this is a brain, this is the brain in different side view, left side and right side, and you can see some hot color and some cool color, right? So, if I take a time series signal, let's say these are all box cells, if I take, let's say, one time series signal from here and another time series signal from here. So you can see here, in this picture you can see they are very much correlated with each other, right? So if I take another signal from here, you can see here it's anti-correlated from the signal which are taken from here. So that means this region is functionally connected with this region, whereas these regions are not functionally connected to this region or this region. Okay, in a layman language. So it's a very simple correlation analysis technique. So what we did, this is from our data. So what we did, we took all these images, and this is actually the flattened surface of the visual cortex. We just took the surface of this visual cortex and we flattened it. So what we did, let's say you are getting the 1000 sign voxel signal, time step signal, right? And if you apply simple the correlation analysis, let's say this is the IC-based analysis. What we found, T minus 2 is 2 days before surgery, when the subject, the blind child or blind person was not operated. T minus 2. T plus 7 means 7 days after surgery. Then T plus 30 means 30 days after surgery, and then T plus 120 is 120 days after surgery. What you can see here, there are only two big hotspots. in this image, right? After 7 days also you can see the hotspot is very much similar to the T minus 2 day. And along the timeline, it will go up to 120 days. You can see there are many islands. I mean, see, not the two big hotspots, rather than many small hotspots. So what it says, let's say I have 2 bit, right? I'm talking about the information encoding. Let's say I have 2 bit. Let's say these 2 bits, I mean, these 2 bits are dependent on each other. If they are dependent on each other, tell me how many ways they can encode information.
4.
They are dependent. 2, either 0 or 1. Let's say they are independent in nature. What will happen? 4. 0, 0, 0, 1, 1, 0, 1, 1, right? So this is what is happening here. You can see here, along the timeline, the neurons, I mean the neural firings are becoming more independent in nature. So as they are more dependent on each other, that's why you can see only the 2 big hotspots. But along the timeline, the neural firings, the pools of neurons which are firing for different activity, we are getting decorrelated. That's why you can see more hotspots. So the question is, when they are getting decorrelated, that means they are encoding more information, right? So these are the results from the 6th subject. I am showing you here, but we have more than 15 of this data. So which says that along the timeline, you can see this is the white curve is the value of all this timeline. It's decorrelating along the timeline. That means correlation is coming down, right? That means the brain is encoding the information. So this was a paper given, this paper by Bosch-Bernoulli. Bosch-Bernoulli is the great grandson of Charles Darwin. So he gave one hypothesis. This was completely theoretical hypothesis about the encoding principle of the brain. And from the time this paper appeared in 1989. So since the time there is no concrete experimental evidence that whether the brain uses this principle or not. So finally we came up with this. Okay, we answered this question. Though it's not. We have not submitted yet because we submitted to science. Then they are asking few more data. So that's why we are waiting. So though we answered this question, we know that we answered, but it's not published. Okay. So again, I'm coming to very interesting question: the phase processing. Okay. So here, actually these are the brains. So let's say this is my brain, and my brain is like this. If I would like to see the ventral part, what I'll do? I'll rotate it. I'll see like this. This is what we've done. It's a rotated brain, right? So you can see here. This is from a professor from Stanford University, Bill Spector, one very interesting paper in 2008. So C is shown here that these are the regions for different things. So let's say this FFA is the fusiform face area. So this area is responsible for the face recognition. PPA is parahippocampal place area. This is responsible for the places. LOC, lateral occipital cortex. This is responsible for the recognition of the objects. Why this is important? This is important because have you heard the disease called the prosopagnosia, face blindness? You must have heard, right? Until now there is no solution because we don't know which is the regions of the brain which is responsible for the faces, right? Also there is autism. Autism also they have face disorder, face processing disorder in there. So the question is how we can answer that question. So first of all we need to understand that which is the regions of the brain which is doing all this job, right? So though in a normal brain they found, but also there are lots of debate. So I was thinking to focus my talk on this face recognition, then I don't know, I should not talk today, maybe later I'll discuss more. So yeah, just think that these are the areas which are behaving for or which are helping us to understand all this type of objects. Okay, so then we thought that and these are the questions, are very fascinating questions in the domain of science. You must have heard about nature-nurture debate. Nature-nurture debate means we are born with some concept and then we learn few concepts. Okay, so until now we don't know that which are the expertise we are born with and which are the expertise we learn from this environment. Okay, even the face concept is also, you will find many papers that how we recognize faces. The scientist says, group says that we are born with this concept. That's why the newly born baby look towards the faces. Okay, few scientists says that no, we don't have this concept, but we learn this concept. But few says we are, we born with some concept, then it gets crystallized according with our experience. Okay, but still these are very, very big questions. Then what we found, and we experimented with many kids, this is a 21 years old subject, and after 2 days you can see there is some activation here. So okay, in this picture for the faces you can see here, but here you can see in this small hotspot. Okay, after 1 month you can see the spot is, we are getting this shifting to this place. Okay, and after 4 months you can see it's changing. Okay, then after 10 months you can see here. You can see in this subject it's increasing along the timeline. Okay, in few subjects what we found, it's increasing, then decreasing, then remains constant. So now, until now we are just trying to understand what is the developmental pattern, whether there is any specific place in the brain which is faces, or it's very dynamic in nature. So until now we don't have the concrete answer, but this is one, I'm showing you one subject data, but there are many findings. Still we could, we don't know that how to find out some correlation, so we are experimenting with more kids. Okay.
So it is going natural, or the subject is being trained?
No. Until now we have not done any intervention. This is the natural learning. After the surgery we are just allowing nature to do the miracle for them. So maybe, basically we want to understand that how they are learning by themselves.
So the miracle has happened, they have learned to say something, anyone?
Yes. I'm coming to this point.
One question is what happened to the axonal dendrites density for each and every day as you actually measured? Did you measure the density of axonal dendrites?
Yes. These are all very interesting questions asked by many scientists in the world. So until now, okay, these are all from the information processing point of view. We can tell exactly, but okay, let's say when I'm talking about the axonal and dendrites, all this thing, I can measure the volume of the visual cortex. So these are the things we are doing right now. It's not, I don't have data right now. I have few data, but not much. I can share with you few data. So these are also, very interesting, but we need to, to tell something, we need few more of this data, because these are very challenging.
Or to put it in a different way, do you find any rearrangement of the dendrite connections or axonal connections?
Yes. This is the cross-motor mapping what I am talking about, rearrangement you are talking about. Let's say when somebody born blind, mostly the visual cortex is mostly, scientists have found, is being used for the tactile and the auditory stuff. Then when they are getting to the site, how the brain is reorganizing. So this is what, again, we are also conducting this research, that auditory, now we are talking about this, conducting research on the auditory, tactile and visual, how these three things are, they are interacting, yes, after the site also. So from all this brain imaging data, whatever I shown to you, though we have many data, but I just presented two data. Okay, evidence of reorganization in the visual cortex following surgery, we found that it's reorganizing, right? And they are also able to see. Onset of visual input leads to progressive decorrelation in visual cortex, which you have seen in this connectivity data. And also we found that the face selectivity develops over several months. Also, all this imaging data will support our behavioral findings. So we have other experiment where we found that yes, they can learn the face concept, they can learn or they can recognize the faces. Okay. So what we found from the brain level, the question I asked earlier, that is the brain plastic enough to make use of the information from the eyes better in the life? Yes. At the same time, though I am not showing any other behavioral data, but yes, from the behavioral data also we found that yes, the child born blind and for several years since birth benefit from the optical correction of the eyes. This is what we found from all this experimental study. So these are the few kids I am presenting you here. They were blind, so we have treated more than 500 blind children. Those who were blind, but now they're just like you and me, they can see the world the way we see.
So it is like some connection, some neurons were idle before the surgery and after that they started firing.
Yeah.
So there were some change in connections or some connections got there. So how do you get to know or how do you find it? Is it possible with fMRI or something that you get to know which connections are?
These are the challenges in this technology. You cannot go actually fMRI में negative side है. You cannot tell all this thing. Whatever we are doing in this imaging hotspot and all this thing, Visual will say, okay, these are the pools of neurons are showing in this region of the brain. But in order to do this, you have to record the single cell activity or single neuron activity. Okay. But with the human, you cannot do this study.
But you previously mentioned that when brain is idle or
Right.
isn't doing anything, there are some signals.
Right. I mean, this is what Sir asked me right now. That let's say if somebody gets excited, then how it's how the brain is again rewiring. Let's say when I am not able to see, my visual cortex is being used for my tactile or auditory stuff. और मुझे रोशनी आ गया. Then how they are reorganizing among themselves. फिर मुझे कैसे फिर how this brain region will be activated again for this vision cortex. So this is we are trying to see, and maybe what we will do. I mean, we can quantify this thing in terms of volume or the gray matter, white matter content. In the camera you can do this, but you cannot precisely tell कि ये इतना neurons ये हो रहा है. You cannot do this.
So in this study, did we observe like these 500 people?
Yeah.
How are their visual perception improving over the time? Are we doing some this kind of study or test like visual?
Yeah.
test
So actually in the vision research we have low level vision, mid level vision, high level vision. So we test in all 3 different levels of vision. So acuity, let's say the acuity, visual acuity, is a very important parameter. Earlier study used to say that if you could operate any kid early age possible, their visual improvement would be better. But until now, the interesting thing is that we reported recently and it will come soon. So we didn't find any good correlation between the age and the improvement in the acuity. So this is a very interesting question. So that's why the Nobel laureate, the 2 Nobel laureate who proposed this hypothetical period hypothesis, though we challenge that hypothesis, but again we are not telling that this hypothesis is completely wrong. So now we are testing all this visual component, the acuity. Let's say until now, with this kid to whom we already restored the sight, their high level visual recognition, let's say face, object, it's improving. But their acuity does not, most of the cases does not improve in a very good way. Let's say your acuity or my acuity is 6 by 6 or 6 by 10. But many of these kids, their acuity stage at let's say 20 by 500 or 20 by 400, it does not change. But their higher visual, higher visual performance improved a lot. So we don't, until now with more than 100 subjects we tested, all these things, we didn't see any age-related correlation.
So what was the maximum age?
So until now we have extrapolated, we have done study until the age of 30 years. So that's why we are telling that the window of plasticity, which we are talking about, few months, now we're telling, okay, it's a little bit, okay, but we don't know that how big this window is. So until now we have done this study with 30 years was our oldest.
How do you test what they are seeing? We are making after the treatment, we are thinking that they are seeing the regular world, but because the visual cortex has been dominant for a long time.
Right.
So what they are perceiving, what the perception is there, what actually are they seeing? Are they seeing the regular thing that we see? Or is
Yeah, just like yes. We do test. Let's say, okay, I'm not showing you here for some time. So let's say if I want to understand the categorization. Okay, categorization means let's say I presented. The question. Okay, let's say I created 300 images of 5 different categories. So one category is complete the human faces. Another category is not human faces, but very much similar to human faces. Another category is very medium semblance to human faces, but not human faces. Likewise, very low category, then completely non-faces. So let's say if the person is not able to understand, he will randomly tell, okay, this is face, whatever. Okay, definitely you will get a very graded type of answer. If I do this study with you, I'll get a very step-like. जो non-faces है, it will be like this. जो faces है, it will go up, right? But उनके लिए मुझे शायद ऐसे randomly मिलेगा. And after जैसे उनका learning धीरे-धीरे आगे जाएगा, so you will see, it would be like from here to here too. It will come down, then it will go up. This one. So in this way you can tell that yes, they are learning the visual skill. So okay, so coming to this point, what I am talking about. So I discussed about the efficient information encoding in the brain, and then I am discussing about the multimodal information linkage. Okay, so the question is, this is the question I asked in my first slide, that how do we predict the visual appearance of an object based on how it feels to the touch? Is this mapping innate or does it need to be learned? This is the question I asked, right? And also I told you that why it's important in the domain of engineering, right? And this is the question we are not asking. 300 years back, Molyneux asked this question. Molyneux wrote a letter to John Locke. And in this letter, what he mentioned, that suppose a man born blind, and the blind person knows by his touch that this is a cube and this is a sphere. Okay, let's say this is a remote and this is a pointer. Okay, and let's say I am born blind and I know by my touch that this is a pointer, this is a remote and this is a pointer. And all of a sudden, by miracle, I get back my sight. Okay, and you place these two objects in front of me and you ask me, don't touch these two objects and tell me which one is what. So without touching, whether I can answer that this is a pointer and that is remote, whether it's possible or not.
Yes. Because of some, by touching, we can create some shape in our mind.
Yeah, so actually since the time, he asked this question in 17th century, and last 300 years, scientists are trying to address this question. Few group of scientists said yes, it's possible, few says no, it's not possible. Okay, so that's why it's already mentioned in the Stanford Encyclopedia of Philosophy. If you visit this Stanford Encyclopedia of Philosophy, it's written that there is no problem in the history of the philosophy of perception that has provoked more thought than the problem that Molyneux raised in 1688. In this sense, Molyneux' problem is one of the most fruitful thought experiments ever proposed in the history of philosophy. So you will find many big papers in Nature of Science. People have tried to answer this question, but it was finally answered in 2011 by the Indian blind children. So what we did, to answer this question, we designed a very simple experiment. Okay, what we did, we designed few stimuli, stimuli in the sense that which are very much similar in nature but not same. Let's say these are my two stimuli. Okay, these are two, let's say pointer, whatever the remote. It looks very similar but not same, right? Let me explain you here only. Let's say these are the two stimuli. What I did, after my sight onset, let's say I am born blind, and after my sight onset, what you did, I am sitting in the chair, you told me that just touch this remote. Okay, so मैंने उसको छू लिया, मैंने देखा ही नहीं, नीचे मुझे दे दिया, मैं छू लिया. Then what you did, you took this out from me, and then you mixed with this. Let's say this is my target and this is my destructor. Because target means I allow the subject to touch, and this is my destructor. Then what I did, I mixed here, and then I again asked him, okay, अभी दोनों ले लो हाथ में, and बताओ मुझे which one I had given you earlier to touch. तो then वो बताएगा कि आपने मुझे ये दिया था. If the subject will say this one, then it's correct. If the subject says this one, then it's wrong, right? This is what I did in touch to touch in one domain, right? In vision also you can do. Let's say एक बार ये दिखाया और बताया कि छूना नहीं, ये देख के याद रखो कि ये मैंने दिया. And then you mix with this another one and you place in front of me. And the last which one I had given you to see. Then if you say this one, then correct. If you say this one, then it's wrong, right? In touch to vision, what you will do, you will allow them to touch without seeing in one target and mix with the destructor and allow them to see and tell which one you are giving to touch. This is touch to vision, right? Cross model. So what we found in this type of experiment, what we found, here I am showing you only 5 subjects data. You can see here, this subject was operated on 12th Jan 2007 and we tested on 14th Jan. This is touch to touch, this is vision to vision, this is touch to vision. Okay. Here, in 2 days, you can see their accuracy is 100%. Vision to vision also 100%. You can see almost, this is above chance level performance, right? What about the touch to vision? You can see the touch to vision is just by chance, right? So, if now you can ask the question which one is asked, then the answer is completely negative, right? Negative means, based on the results from all these 5 subjects, what we found, the Molyneux scale is likely to have a negative answer. The newly cited saw little transport from touch to vision immediately after sight onset. Besides this basic result, there is a very interesting trend we found from our result. What is the interesting trend? So, the patient was, the subject was tested on 14th Jan, then again we tested the subject on 21st Jan. You can see here in 7 days, their performance is nearly 100%, selling a group of. So the question is, the first thing is that, no, it's not possible to map the one information, one model input to another model just of the side object. And the another very interesting strength, what we noticed that this ability, they learn this ability in the span of 7 days. Okay. So that's why I've written here, there does not appear to be an immediate transform from touch to vision of sight, but the ability to transform is occurred very rapidly. So this is a very big open question to all the scientific community, that what kinds of mechanism might account for such rapid learning. So nobody knows the answer, but why, what's the mechanism. So we published this paper in Nature Neuroscience in 2011, this was. So I'm telling Dr. Ganesh that always, the answer of all these big questions lies in a very simple solution. So when you are designing any experiment, try to make it as simple as possible. So simple way से results बहुत अच्छा आता है and it's very powerful. Okay. So you can see here it's a very simple experiment and it's very powerful. So I'll correlate those findings to engineering application. Just hold on, right? So these are the two pictures, and there are two names here, Malum and Takiti. I gave you two objects, this picture, and I gave you two names, Malum and Takiti. And now this is your job to tell which one Malum and which one is Takiti.
These two are topologically equivalent, right? Like if I just stretch it other way, one will become like other way.
नहीं आपको सिर्फ बता रहा था अभी मैंने आपको दो नाम दिया I gave you two names Malum and Takiti and two objects.
Yeah, I'm just asking, but these two are somewhat similar or
I don't know. These are two objects, two names. You have to name this object. ये object का नाम क्या है? How many of you says this Takiti? Okay. और मालूमा? Rest. This is a very interesting question in the domain of computer science. Computer science में इसमें बहुत research हो चुका है, right?
This is similar to Gaga and Kiki.
Yes, something like right. So most of the people says, okay, the research findings say, they says that this is Takiti and this is Maluma. So my next question is, I didn't tell you the name of this object. How did you know that this is Takiti and this is Maluma?
Or why most of us thought the right one
Yes.
is Maluma and the left one is Takiti.
Takiti, right?
Takiti is short of us.
Yes. Our brain is intelligent, right?
Visual audio connection.
Right. So somehow the brain is establishing there's some connection. कि Takiti थोड़ा zigzag है कुछ है Takiti, right? Maluma थोड़ा smooth है Maluma, right? So this is the job the brain is doing. So this is what we need to understand, how the brain is doing this job, right? If we understand this thing, then maybe we'll able to answer all this cross-modal mapping and all this stuff. Let me give you this example. This child is holding this mobile phone, which I presented in a few slides back. And what the brain is doing, basically the brain is establishing some connection. Okay. When the child is holding this mobile phone, we are getting, let's say, some haptic features, right? In the same time, when the child is looking at this phone, we are getting some visual features. So then what is happening? Somehow, we are mapping these features to the other feature, right? We are establishing some map. And how we are doing? Now, whatever this time domain information we are getting, okay, we are just correlating or finding out the correlation among these two. Okay, that's why we can map one domain to another. So let me give you a very realistic example. What is happening here? The newscaster is reading the news. Okay, so we feel that when the newscaster is reading the news in the television, we feel that the voice is coming from the mouth. Is it really comes from the mouth? Then from where? कहाँ से आता है?
It's coming from the speaker.
Yes, and the speaker are placed inside of the computer or the television, right? Side में होता है, and we feel that the voice is coming from the mouth. So why? Why we think? Why we feel that the voice is coming from the mouth?
Because the chances are very, very low that mouth is moving in a certain manner. At the same time, a sound which should coming from such a mouth is simultaneously coming from a random place or a different place.
Yes.
Now,
Yeah. So to understand this thing, I just did one study. Okay. I recorded the voice signal. In the same time, I applied some motion sensor signal on the faces. Let's say I applied 100 motion sensor signal. In the same time, because to monitor or to record the dynamics of how the different parts of the face is moving. In the same time, I recorded the voice. And let's say this is the voice signal, the envelope of the voice signal. Okay. And let's say this is the signal, let's say from the motion sensor placed over here. So likewise, you can put 103 motion sensor, you will get 3 signal, you will place 100 motion sensor, you get 100. I mean, it will just observe that how the different parts of your face is moving. Just apply simple correlation analysis with this voice signal, the envelope of the voice signal with this motion sensor signal, and create a heat map out of it. How to look like? You can see here, the heat map would be like this. Okay, you can see here, the hot color represents the higher correlation, highest correlation, the cool color represents the lower correlation. So from this I can say that edge, I am getting the highest correlation from this mouth sensor. So from here, that's why I feel that the voice comes from the mouth. So from this type of analysis, what you can do, if I ask you to create a lookup table, that for, let's say, for the voice confusion this, what would be the mouth confusion? So for the voice confusion 2, what would be the mouth confusion? So at the end of the lookup table, if I ask you for voice confusion n, what would be the mouth confusion? You can do it very easy, right? So coming to this point, what I found from all this experiment, I presented one experiment from the blind children, those who get sight, and after that we experimented to understand this cross-modal mapping. This is also one cross-modal mapping, right? This is auditory to visual, right? So from all these experimental things, what we found that the dynamics plays a very, very important role, not only in the human but also in the machine. So the biggest message from all the study is, instead of programming a robot to do the job, you just program the robot to learn by its own. Let's say for the blind kid, not even the blind, who is already blind kid, not even the kid, he is already grown up guy, let's say 20 years old. He knows many things. Still, he is not able to map one sensory information to other. How come we can, how we feel or how we think that the machine would be able to do the right kind of job if we will program the robot at the very, outside of its existence. Okay, so we need not to program the robot to do its job. So in that way, we cannot make it more intelligent. Rather, we need to come up with some very sophisticated algorithm by which we can force the robot or force the machine learning system or the autonomous system to learn by its own. Okay, then only we can come up with a very sophisticated robot in this world. So to summarizing all this thing. So basically nowadays, you think about computer science, these are all very big and all this thing. So I'll tell you very biggest truth. This is, he is Professor Donald Knuth. He is currently the emeritus professor at Stanford University. He is a very, very big personality in this world in the domain of computer science. So in one interview in 1993, he said, biology is so digital and incredibly complicated, but incredibly useful. Okay? It's hard for me to say confidently that after 50 more years of explosive growth of computer science, there will still be a lot of fascinating unsolved problems at people's fingertips that it won't be pretty much working on refinement of well explored things. So now whatever you see in the computer science, he is just trying to refine here or there, something like that. Okay, but what he found that I cannot be as confident about computer science as I can about biology. Biology easily has 500 years of exciting problems to work. It is at that level. So the next 500 years for the computational biology. Okay, so he will understand the intelligence of all this biology. We can answer many interesting questions of this universe. At the same time, we can make our life much more better, right? So this is the work what I am talking to you. This Molyneux query. When we published this work, that day, the New York Times, the front page, the New York Times took this page, the study of vision techniques and philosophy. That means after 300 years, we got some tentative answer of this question. Likewise, last year, one of our articles came in Science, and we got this cover page of Science magazine. To get the cover page, even it's a big job, right? Not only publishing in Science, but to get the cover page. Also, this work are also, featured in many different presses, like the journals, Times Magazine, Nature, and also in the Harvard and MIT news. So mostly those who used to work at MIT, So yeah, definitely, I mean, they publish good work, that's true. But still, the scientists and professors, they feel that actually people see MIT website, okay, every day you will see one research highlight. Every day you will see new research. So out of these 365 days, 300 days you will find new research, they highlight, right? And those who are the scientists, they think that, okay, when my research will appear in the MIT website. Okay, so when I'm there, I just think when my research will come. So what I found that yes, one of my research will also appear in the MIT news. And that time I felt that, okay, this is my nature of science type of publication. Okay, so what I said to you or what I explained to you in my 1 hour presentation, just I wanted to tell you, just to try to have a big impact on science and at the same time try to solve the need of the society by which you can connect yourself to your society in a much better way, and that's why we do science and engineering. And if you can have a big impact, you feel that yes, you've done your job. Okay. Thank you very much for your attention. So here are few people of mine group, and we have organizations who have funded us for all this project. So if you have any questions.
What is the cost of the study for
So
one eye?
actually we provide all this free of cost surgery to this kid, and mostly we spend more than for one eye surgery we spend around $600. Take for two eyes $1,000, and then we take care of everything. Their travel, their living costs, everything, and also we bear their wages. Let's say mostly they are very poor. When they will come to Delhi, they have to lose their wages. So we compensate all this thing. So and then also we don't leave one subject. Let's say we treated the subject and we will leave. No, we don't do it like this. Until now, last 10 years, we have not left anybody because we are tracking their visual development.
Can I link to donate?
Yeah, we have. You can find the information in the project.us.org.
So, one question related to the rapid learning system. Just a curiosity.
Right.
The learning part is actually related to the hippocampus.
Yes.
Right? Because that is where actually all your learning, whether it's short-term memory, long-term memory, or everything, it's taking place only on the hippocampus. That is where the brains were exposed.
Right.
But you are predominantly looking at the visual cortex, and particularly the cortex area.
Right.
Have you actually looked into the hippocampus area also, that what is happening? Because the learning is related more to people when you talk about whether it's the cognitive learning. There are different types of learning.
Yeah.
So, what is the role of hippocampus?
Yeah, so actually, definitely, there are many unanswered questions in the brain science, and still, this is going to display gold mine for us. These are all very interesting questions. Until now, we have not, looked at all these things. Just we are doing some basic fundamental research. Just say object spaces. We have not even gone to that much complicated domain. So, just we are moving forward.
When you are actually taking a MRI or something like
Yes.
that, you would have seen some hotspots, not only on one particular part, but also the various other brain regions,
Yeah.
which you would have looked into, which you might have some data or something like that.
Right.
Possible to just look into those data in the hippocampus to see that how the, once the vision is acquired,
Yeah.
how the learning
What
is
is it?
rapidly occurring and what is the role of hippocampus.
Right.
That is the part which is implicated in learning.
Yeah, and nowadays the way the neuroscience is moving, every day we are getting very interesting hypotheses about the brain. So yeah, earlier we were talking about the hippocampus, but now we are talking about that maybe the other regions of the brain is also helping us for all this thing. That's why it depends on the level of the networks in the brain. So yes, definitely this type of data will give us very interesting clues to understand the brain in a very well.
I'm just asking whether...
No, definitely, these are all good questions. Yeah.
Whether it's looked into it or something like this, or people are already looking already some literature is available.
So actually, literature is not available in this domain. Yes, we have the data. We are just working on these fundamental questions, just like we submitted one paper in Science 2010, and then they said, okay, if it would be good if you can add at the time. Actually, the most challenging part of this work is they are all the children from the villages. they have not been to Delhi. Let's say एक बार वो Delhi आ रहे हैं. The same time, ये जो fMRI है and it makes noise, huge machine. It's very difficult to get good quality data. You will, I mean, okay, let's say you have to track the brain development. कुछ बच्चे का इतना मोशन आर्टिफैक्ट होता है, you cannot, I mean, whatever signal processing technique you use, you cannot get good data out of it. You have to throw out straight in the straightforward way. So he will, I mean, experiment, let's say 50 brains, 50 subjects. Then out of, in 5 years, so after 3-4 years, you will hardly get 10 good subjects. So these are the challenges. That's why in 2010, we submitted the paper with 5 subjects, but then the editor of science asked, it would be great if you can add few more subjects, so that it would be helpful for the experiment. And then that's why now I am winding up the studies. I mean, maybe in next 1-2 months, I am going to submit. So yeah, it takes lots of time to follow up and.
Okay, any more questions? Will be available, I guess, for a while for the questions. So in the meanwhile, let us thank Dr. Gandhi for an exciting talk on a topic which is here. Yes, yeah, this is from Delhi, Molyneux.
Yes, sir. Okay. Reply the name. Thank you. Oh, okay.
Right, so thank you.